Communities United Against Police Brutality Reinvestigation presents Marcus Golden, Part 4. Marcus was killed by St. Paul police officers Jeremy Doverspike and Dan Peck on January 14, 2015. Marcus was accused of sending threatening text messages, threatening the lives of police officers in a previous incident, driving directly at officers Doverspike and Peck, and shooting at the two officers. Marcus was treated like the suspect of his own murder investigation by St. Paul Police Department, Washington County Attorney's Office, and the media. Threatening texts? The 911 caller claimed that Marcus sent him threatening text messages. The facts. The 911 caller and Marcus were involved with the same woman. None of them tried to block each other from receiving said messages. The 911 caller was unable to prove that any messages from Marcus were sent to him. You may ask, why was Marcus there that night? Marcus was trying to return items to this woman who stayed at the 911 caller's apartment. He had been trying to return her things for a while. Items with her name on them were found in Marcus's car. The 911 caller made his call at 2:14 a.m. Two Tango squads were dispatched to the call, and someone in Squad 223T aired over the radio that Marcus had previously threatened to kill police officers. They said, Golden has been known to be a violent person and has made threats against St. Paul police officers that he would kill them. Around 2 months earlier, in November of 2014, Marcus was arrested by St. Paul Police Department officers and taken to Ramsey County Jail. Marcus told his family that he had been beaten by the St. Paul Police Department officers at the jail and was concerned he suffered a concussion. Marcus spoke to some family members about hiring an attorney about this incident. Squad 215, Doverspike and Peck, decided to respond to the call without being assigned and without notifying dispatch. Doverspike had previously responded to a 911 call involving Marcus. Doverspike and Peck never talked to the 911 caller when they arrived. They never saw these alleged text messages, and St. Paul Police Department has been unable to prove that these texts exist. Open window? The officers claim that after they arrived on scene, they drove to the back of the parking lot and got out of their cars to speak to Marcus. According to the officers, they had a back-and-forth conversation with Marcus, who had his window rolled down, before he accelerated at the officers. Marcus's driver's side window was not open. Further, only 8 seconds elapsed between when Doverspike aired Marcus's license plate and Peck radio's shots fired. Doverspike claims in his interview that the conversation between Peck and Marcus at the driver's side window lasted 20 seconds. There was not enough time for Officer Peck to have a conversation with Marcus, like the officers described. He drove directly at officers? In their press release, St. Paul Police Department claims, quote, upon arrival, officers located the suspect sitting in the driver's seat of an SUV that was parked facing the squad car. Officers exited their vehicle. Before they could fully approach the suspect, he accelerated the SUV and drove at a high rate of speed directly at one of the officers. Marcus was leaving the parking lot. He did not drive at officers. If anything, he drove around them. This photo shows how steep the hill is that was across from Marcus's spot in the parking lot. Marcus had been to this parking lot before. He drove as close as possible to a steep hill, putting himself in harm's way in order to drive around the officers. According to the evidence, Marcus did everything he could to preserve the officers' lives and his own. Marcus had to have known that he would be shot at. He ducked down while he was driving away, and he drove as far to the edge of a steep hill to go around them. This picture indicates the officers' movements, footprints, and directions. As Marcus was leaving, Doverspike ran after the vehicle. as evidenced by his footprints and Marcus's tire tracks in the snow. See Part 5 for more.